All right, guys, the group is running south. They're running. He took them down at gunpoint.
Constantly in the Rio Grande Valley, undocumented immigrants try to get in the U.S. illegally. Many times they try running across the border. If they make it past Border Patrol at the border wall, they usually stay at stash houses in cities near the border until they head further north. This group of more than 100 are found in Edinburgh inside 3 stash houses. When they're caught by Border Patrol, they're transported to the Port Isabel Detention Center, which is run by Immigration and Customs Enforcement. This morning we're at the Port Isabel Detention Center and we see a new group arrive.
Initially, when the undocumented are detained, law enforcement confiscate everything they have. As you can see in this person's bag, they have some toothpaste, a toothbrush, a cell phone, and a wallet.
The detainees' bags filled with their belongings are kept with ICE at the facility until they're transferred back to their country. Once off the bus, the undocumented immigrants are searched before entering the facility.
Most of our initial arrests over the last few months have been Central Americans. So I'd say approximately 65 to 75% of all intake that Border Patrol arrest or anybody makes is Central Americans lately.
Once they get into the facility, the undocumented immigrants then get a medical checkup. ICE says for most of them it's their first time seeing a doctor.
People that come in here extremely dehydrated, blisters on their feet that can hardly walk. So, you know, again, we try to be as in-depth as possible. And, you know, if something at this process that they need to see a medical professional immediately, we will refer them out, whether it be in-house, as I said, we have doctors on staff, or whether it be a local hospital if it's an emergency.
In Port Isabel's detention center, they have 42 beds to treat patients. This is the largest short-stay medical center in the country for ICE. After getting checked out medically, detainees will stay at the detention center until they're cleared to get transported back to their country. We are following a group of around 45 as they're getting ready to be transported out of the facility to head back to their country.
You see behind me, they're being searched. They have to be searched for contraband to make sure that they have nothing that's illegal on them that could either harm themselves or harm those that are escorting them back to their country.
Most undocumented immigrants are checked. They're then loaded up into these buses where they're transferred to the airport.
Once on the bus, there's a final check to make sure everyone is on board. As we're on the bus, we hear the undocumented tell us where they're from. The bus is then on its way to the airport.
And the undocumented immigrants have arrived at the airport in Harlingen. They're going through one final search before they get on the plane, and they'll be heading back to El Salvador.
A total of 120 undocumented immigrants are on board. 75 came from San Antonio. The other 45 are from the Port Isabel facility.
We have their country officials expecting them as we speak. Once we arrive, they'll greet us out on the tarmac. They'll go ahead and process them back into the country, and then they'll reintegrate them into the community.
Reporting in Cameron County, Matt Fernandez, KVO News Center 23.